In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can make a lye buffer solution. A lye buffer solution is useful if you want to increase the pH of your cosmetic product, either skincare or hair care. First ingredient you're going to be measuring out is your distilled water. So you're going to need about 90% of your distilled water. Always use distilled water for your cosmetic formulations. If you can't get distilled water, you can use deionized water. Never use bottled water or even tap water. So you're going to set this aside and then you're going to measure out your caustic soda. Your caustic soda is what you're going to be using to prepare your solution. You want to carefully measure this out because if it spills on your skin, it can burn your skin. So this is what caustic soda looks like, and it is very corrosive. That is why you need to be well protected while you're working with this particular ingredient. So you make sure that you have your hand gloves on as well as your nose mask or your face mask. Okay, you don't want to breathe this in when you're combining both ingredients together. So for your caustic soda, you're going to need about 10% of it. So once you're done measuring out, you're going to bring both ingredients together and you're going to combine. Never pour your distilled water into your lye or your caustic soda. Instead, pour your caustic soda into your distilled water. So what you want to do is work safe by pouring your caustic soda into your distilled water. And one thing you're going to notice is that it's going to get really hot. The temperature is going to be around 75 degrees Celsius at this moment, okay? And one thing I like to do at this point is to stir so that the caustic soda doesn't sit below. Okay, so you just stir and you allow it to sit for a while. So I let mine sit for a few hours, and this is the consistency I got. This is how it's going to look like. Okay, you can check with your thermometer to get the final temperature and just let it sit for a while till it's around 35 degrees Celsius before you package, and your lye buffer solution is ready for you to use in increasing the pH of your cosmetic products. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a citric acid solution. So this is a pH buffer for reducing the pH of your product. The first thing that you're going to be measuring out is your distilled water. So you're going to need about 50% of your distilled water. Remember to always use distilled water. If you can't get distilled water, you can use deionized water. Do not use bottled water or tap water. So you're going to set this aside and then you're going to measure out your citric acid. So citric acid comes in a very fine, not so fine powder form. Sometimes if you leave it for a while, it might clump up like this, okay? But you don't have to worry about that. Once you add it to your distilled water, it is going to dissolve almost immediately. So I'm just going to be measuring this out. You're going to use 50% of your citric acid powder. So the next thing you're going to do is to pour your citric acid into your distilled water. Never pour your distilled water into your citric acid, okay? It is the other way around. So one thing you're going to notice at this point is that it's going to get a bit cloudy, but as everything dissolves, it is going to become transparent. And you're also going to notice that the solution is going to be very cold. So you're just going to go ahead and give that a very good stir so that the citric acid doesn't sit below. Okay, so you're going to be checking and stirring at intervals. As you can see here, this is 16 degrees Celsius. So this is quite very cold, and you're just going to allow this to sit, and within a few hours everything is going to dissolve properly and you can package and store for use. So you're going to use this to check and balance the pH of your product. So if you make a product and then the final pH is like 6 and you want it to be like 5.0, 5.5, you're going to be using this particular buffer solution. And so this is what you're going to get at the end of your formulation, a very clear, transparent solution with no particles inside. So you're going to bottle this up and use for your formulations.